Hello, my name is Dr. Yaya Sissoko, Professor of Economics, Department of Finance and Economics at Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Today we're going to talk about Chapter 12, Unemployment. This video is about the types of unemployment. Figure 1 displays the stock of flow model of unemployment. At any point in time, there is a measurable stock of people in which of the three boxes. Box number 1 is employed people who are working. Box number 2 is unemployed people who are not working but looking for job. And box number 3 is population not in the labor force. But these stocks are simultaneously, being deleted and replenished by numerous flow into and out each category. For instance, so people who are discharged from work or move from the first box to the second box and be considered as unemployed. Second, people who are being laid off by the company, then move from the first box to the second one. Third, people who quit their job move from the first box to the second one. And fourth, people worker who retire or withdraw from the labor force will move to the third box, population not in the labor force. Number 5 would be so people who were previously in the third box re-entered the labor market as a new entrant or a re-entrant. Then if they get a job, they'll be considered as employed. If they're looking for a job, then but don't get a job, then they'll be considered as unemployed. Number 6 it will be new hire, people who can so where not previously not working, they get a job, they'll be considered as employed. Number 7, people who were previously laid off, now they get recalled by their company or businesses, then they'll be considered as employed. So we can see that changing in the labor, so in the rate of this flow can significantly impact the unemployment rate. So there are 3 types of unemployment. Let's talk about the first one, which is called frictional unemployment. What is frictional unemployment? Frictional unemployment arises when worker and firm needed time to locate each other and to digest information about the potential job match. So even a well-functioning competitive economy experiences frictional unemployment because some workers will inevitably be between jobs. Example of frictional unemployment is, for instance, a college graduate. It will take them some time before they can land their first job. Another example could be also stay-home parents who left the labor market to nurture their kid, be home with their kid. Then when the kid grow up, they want to come back to the labor market looking for a job. It may take them some time before they can find that dream job. Frictional unemployment is unemployment due to voluntary quit, people who quit their job switches, people who are moving between jobs, and new entrants, college graduate entering the job market for the first time, and re-entrants into the labor market, same home parents or retirees, who are retired to come back to the labor market. Sources of frictional unemployment are due to surge, unemployment, the time looking for a job, which is caused by individuals searching for the best wage offer and firms searching for workers to fill jobs opening. Frictional unemployment are also called white unemployment, which is caused by the excess supply of workers that results from non-market clearing wages. So, for instance, a worker could be temporarily laid off. So this will be the case of worker on temporary layoff usually don't search for another job because they have, the guarantee from the company that they'll be come back. Also, union job quits. Worker may wait in union quit job rather than take a non-union job. Also, we have efficient wages. Efficient wages contributed to frictional unemployment since a firm pay higher wages to increase worker productivity. Now let's talk about the second type of unemployment, which is called structural unemployment. So what is structural unemployment? Structural unemployment arises when there is an imbalance between the supply of worker and the demand for worker, or when unemployment rises because of mismatch between worker skills and the skill needed by firm. For instance, a secretary who used to use a typewriter to perform a job suddenly now, must, to use a computer to perform a job. Then there is a mismatch between a skill, which is, so the use of a typewriter and the skill required by the job, which is the use of a computer. Structural unemployment is the most concerning type of unemployment for an economy, as the skills embedded in labor are no longer being put to productive use. Structural unemployment rises for one of these three main reasons. The first one is mismatches between the skill required for available job opening and the skill possessed by those seeking work. For instance, we have a secretary using typewriter. Now the skill required that the secretary manages a computer. Another reason for structural unemployment is geographic mismatches between the location of job opening and job seeker. For instance, someone who is in Texas, so with warm weather, now the job opening is in Alaska, where it's cold and snowing most of the time, and then the worker does not want to move to Alaska in the cold weather, then that person would be unemployed. The third, reason for structural unemployment is worker losing jobs because of permanent plant closing or job cut, for instance. The third and final type of unemployment is called cyclical unemployment. What is cyclical unemployment? Cyclical unemployment is unemployment due to recession or a slowdown in the aggregate economy. Firms now need a smaller workforce to satisfy, consumer demand, and employers lay off many workers, generating cyclical unemployment. Cyclical unemployment leads to an excess supply of workers, and the market does not clear. The market is not in equilibrium because of the sticky wages, and and the market does not adjust downward. Now, let's provide some example of cyclical unemployment. The first example is the Great Depression from 1929 to 1933, officially or unofficially up to 1940, at the beginning of World War II, due to the crash of the stock market. During the Great Depression, there was a very low aggregate demand, and then because of the low aggregate demand, so GDP went down by more than 50%. In order to decrease its GDP, the businesses have to cut back the workforce, the level of so employment by, and unemployment increases to 25%. Also, another example of cyclical unemployment is the Great Recession, which happened in 2007, 2008, all the way up to 2010, due to financial crisis, housing or subprime mortgage crisis. Bank made mortgage loan to customers who cannot afford to pay those mortgage loans. So they foreclosure their houses, and then bank end up owning a lot of so houses, and then they became insolvent, and the government had to help them by bailing them out. So government bail out, so that the business, so that the bank will not file bankruptcy. Unemployment rate during the Great Recession increases to 10%. So now let's talk about macroeconomic policy to remedy cyclical unemployment. The first type of policy is called fiscal policy. Fiscal policy is either increasing G or government expenditure, or decrease in T, net taxes, to stimulate aggregate demand and reestablish market equilibrium at the sticky wage. For instance, example of fiscal policy will be, the government increasing, government expenditure to build a new school, to build highways, to build, hospital, and to buy, supply for the school, computer, another example of fiscal policy would be decrease in taxes. Decrease in taxes, for instance, income taxes. The tax rate decreases from, let's say, 28% to 19%, and also decrease in corporate profit. So then also will stimulate aggregate demand. The second type of macroeconomic policy is called monetary policy, which is an increase in the money supply. For instance, an increase in money supply. Monetary policy is the control of the money supply by the central bank, which is so the Federal Reserve in the US. Increase in the money supply will so pump more money in the economy, and then this will stimulate aggregate demand and restore the market equilibrium at the sticky wage. This is the end of the video about the types of unemployment. Next time we'll talk about the steady state rate of unemployment. Thank you.